Hey, it's Joe AMoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Got a quick question for you. Have you ever been told by your friends or family members that you're too picky? Well, if so, I want you to pay close attention because today's video is just for you. There was a time in my life where I was constantly told by my friends and family members that I was too picky. I would go out on lots of dates, but invariably there would be something where I would just know that it wasn't the right person for me. And I would come back and my friends and family would, well, how did your date go? And I go, you know what? It was okay, but this. And they'd be like, you know what? You're just too picky. Now, ultimately, what happens is that I realized I wasn't getting a lot of second dates and I was, cutting people off real quick. And I said, maybe I am too picky. And so I started to compromise. I started to settle. And as a result of doing that, I got into and stayed in a relationship that I should have never even went into in the first place. And the lesson that I got from that experience is that, you know what, if you're going to spend the rest of your life and have the relationship that you really want, you really need to be picky. Now, what I also learned is there's a big difference between being picky and being too picky. Now, I know you're going, Joe, what's the difference? Huge difference. It's the difference between lightning and a lightning bug, okay? So being picky is what I believe is being smart. It's saying, you know what, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with someone and have the relationship that I really want, what are those important qualities and characteristics that I must have? It's something that I call creating your checklist for love. And there's also being too picky, where you have this laundry list of 103 things, and if a guy doesn't meet every one of your criteria, then you kick him to the curb. That's being unreasonable and unrealistic because most of the things on that list really don't matter. They matter to you, but in the big scope of happy, fulfilling, and successful relationships, they don't matter. So let me give you an example. I was talking to one of the members of GPS for Love community a while back who was saying, you know what, I need a guy who's at least 6 feet tall. And I'm like, okay, great. Let's say you meet a guy and he's amazing. He treats you great. He's wealthy. He takes care of you. He respects you. He honors you. He's an amazing lover. He's very attractive, but he's 5'9". And she's like, nope, wouldn't work for me. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yep, wouldn't work for me. And I'm like, okay. Now, I'm never here to tell anybody what to do or how to do it because it's their journey. But that woman was being a little unreasonable, unrealistic. Okay? Because the bottom line, it's a great guy who's willing to give her everything she wants, but he didn't meet this certain criteria. Now, there's a difference between a guy not meeting these unrealistic and unreasonable criteria versus the guy being unattractive. So I'm not talking about the guy being unattractive and not having all the other important qualities. But if there's a quality or characteristic that doesn't meet your criteria and it's really not that important in the relevance of you having a happy, fulfilling, and successful relationship, then you're being too picky, i.e. unrealistic and unreasonable. So here's your homework. Okay, I want you to take some mirror time and really get honest with yourself and say, am I being smart? Am I simply looking for those important qualities and characteristics that are important to me so that I can have that healthy, fulfilling, and successful relationship? Or am I being too picky? Are there things on my list that are really unreasonable and unrealistic? Now, I know in the beginning you're going to think they're reasonable and they're realistic to you, but this is where you got to take that mirror time and get really, really brutally honest with yourself and say, you know what? In the big scope of life, is this really that important? And if it is, great, you're being smart. If it isn't, then you're being unreasonable and unrealistic. So go ahead, take your mirror time, and I'd love to hear from you. What's been your experience? Are you too picky? Have you been not picky enough? You just take every guy and you don't have any criteria. Okay, remember, there's no right or wrong. This is designed to shine light on what may be stopping you in your love life so that you can create the relationship that you desire and deserve. So go ahead, take that mirror time, and then put any questions, comments, or feedback that you may have about being picky, being unreasonable, or unrealistic in the box below. As always, honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Have a blessed day. Much love.